Brett, who is your garbage person of the week?
My garbage person of the week is Donald Trump for his reaction to this tweet. And you're not going to believe how many repercussions it has. So Doug Ford tweeted, "It's official. Ontario, which is in Canada's new advertising campaign in the US has launched. Using every tool we have, we'll never stop making the case against American tariffs on Canada. The way to prosperity is by working together. Watch our new ad and see if you can tell what triggered Trump into the overreaction I will reveal when you watch this."
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
Did you notice? Did you see the one thing you can't do in America's Republican Party? Is quote Ronald Reagan to prove that the party, the grand old party, is no longer the party of Reagan. In response to that, as USA Today reports, Trump says after watching a commercial, he's canceling trade talks with Canada after the fake Ronald Reagan ad. Now you might be wondering, oh, did they use artificial intelligence to create an ad putting words into Ronald Reagan's mouth? No, they used direct quotes from Ronald Reagan to say that the Republicans, in the time when Republicans would have supported this kind of behavior, Republicans were against tariffs as emblematized by Ronald Nancy Reagan. I don't remember his middle name. Now, these two are really close over time. Donald Trump literally glad handing Donald Reagan as far back as when Trump didn't dye his hair blonde. And figuratively, in images like this one I created, but I'm sure similar ones exist, of Donald Trump in a chariot piloted by alligators from Alligator Alcatraz through the swamps they are boiling with the servers that I used to generate this artificial intelligence made image. So there's a lot about this. I'll give you some of the details about it. It's garbage because Trump literally shut down trade talks and negotiations. I'm not against protectionist trade policy, but the way in which Donald Trump is negotiating trade deals, as though he woke up this morning and literally saw a commercial and shut down the negotiations with Bob Ford, who is basically like Trump meets Goldfinger of Ontario. Like, what are we doing? It's bad. And it's really sad because the Republican Party seems to selectively choose what they like about Ronald Reagan. I'm sad to see this element of his free trade policy go from what the Republicans were so proud of in the past. My favorite previous one that fell that they seem to ignore is, as Paleo Future points out, that time Ronald Reagan starred in a World War II movie featuring several drag performances. It's called This Is the Army. Here's a screenshot from it. Ronald Reagan hosted a drag show with the president in attendance and children in attendance, yet somehow the Republicans have been the party not to endorse this kind of behavior in the military. If you want to know more, check out my video, This Is Real ... It outlines the entire thing with some other stellar journalists online. But we have stopped trade negotiations with Canada. Trade negotiations by Trump's own logic and into mine, and to a certain extent, would theoretically help working people of America if we do it right. But he stopped it because he didn't like an advertisement that used some clips of Ronald Reagan. Even though it's hilarious if you dig deeper, apparently Reagan was talking about Japan's protectionist trade policy, where it was like, but you're saying that it's bad. He's still in his own logic. It's not really fake if Ronald Reagan is saying he himself is justifying his own reactionary tariffs because of trade war situations. Like at escalation, he doesn't like it anyway. It's still the central theme applies, but it triggered Donald Trump too much. John.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous how much, especially the thing that they're doing, he's trying to imply that he either understands the law, but especially that he understands the law in other countries. He doesn't, obviously. Look, I do think, like, I know that theoretically taking a person's words and then AIing their voice saying it is not as bad as AIing their voice saying things they haven't said. But that said, I don't want you to do that. I don't like it. There was that thing the Senate Republicans put out of Chuck Schumer taking his quote and then making a video of him saying it in a very sinister way. Like, I still think that's dishonest. As many people have started to see over the last few months, I'm becoming very radicalized against AI. In fact, it's gonna be my garbage person. But that said, like, I love them using his words against them. But it is, as you pointed out in your intro, it's like the ultimate crime to these people. Like, don't you dare prove a point by quoting either Ronald Reagan or Charlie Kirk. You are not allowed to use their words. So good garbage person, Brett.